How's it going, YouTube? And welcome back to the Grid. And I'm your host, Cardfight Grid. And today we have an exciting match for you: Great Nature versus D Police. And I know majority of this channel I like to focus on the B premium format, but if I have decks that can essentially turn into premium decks, I was like, why not? Let's play some premium. My opponent swings at me, he ends up hitting to my PG, I draw. End up swinging back at him, check the heal, which is great, and I checked his grade 3 that actually gives plus 30k to the front row. So happy I hit that. He ends up going to Zeal grade 2, reveal the Brad Black to go ahead and get the grade 3 Zeal. Yeah. And then right now he's just making sure he's doing everything legal. He's swinging at me for 10, I believe. I say no guard. He says heal. Those heals are actually proxies right now for the heal guardians. Sorry about that. End up damaging a Mike Saburo. That hurts. End up going into Big Belly. So if you haven't noticed, it's a Big Belly deck. It's really fun and affordable. You guys should definitely try making this deck. If you do want a deck profile of it, let me know. End up calling the middle belly to get my search for the top 3. Did not get anything that I wanted. End up swing with the big belly and end up creating him, which is pretty nice, but then he ended up healing out of it and he got 2 triggers, which is not good for me, so I cannot swing after that. So right now he's gonna have the first stride. Goes into Zeal, and right now am I a little bit scared just because it's D Police baby, but he ends up calling the top card, which was actually a trigger, so that kind of helped me out. It was a crit, less crit in the deck, better for me. And he minus 5k Big Belly, which sucks with Zeal skill. He ends up going to Unibird, which is a scary big punching freaking card. He's just going into it. He's flipping the he flipped the Grand Gallop X, or the X Gallop, and then end up G guarding, and I'm surprised his hand's actually pretty bad right now, so I'm taking a full advantage of that. G guarding, gonna draw off because the Big Belly skill says whenever one of my units gets retired during the battle phase or the end of anybody's turn, I can go ahead and draw a card. End up doing that, and I think I'm just hard guarding this whole thing right now. Right now we're just adding up, and I believe I made it into like a 2 to pass, which I'm very scared, or a 1 to pass, and he ended up getting it, critting me. And I end up getting to PG, Big Belly, and the grade 2. And my damage zone. End up striding, went into the new stride, which is an amazing card. I end up striding into the new stride called Durst, which lets me counter boss 1 and then choose one of my rear guards, give it plus 30k, stand it, and then my rear guard gets whenever this unit attacks at the end of battle, when your opponent will call cards from his from hand to guardian, they must call 3 or more cards at the same time, which is an awesome skill. And I can turn it face up and choose all my front row units to get plus 10k, so that's what I end up doing right now. And it's pretty awesome because those grade 2 sheeps actually give plus 10k to my Vanguard every time they swing. So right now I'm making a really big board, or I'm making a pretty solid board right now. I swing, get plus 10k to itself and to my Vanguard. It doesn't damage the trigger. I swing with another one and still doesn't damage the trigger, so it's looking good for me. I swing with my Vanguard, end up using skill counter bossing 1, restanding the sheep. He ends up PGing it, give all effects to its sheep. I end up drive checking crit, which is nice because swinging well over 50, and he's just 20k guards and guarding with the quick shield, and because he has to call out with 3 cards from his hand, or 3 cards to Guardian Circle. So right now I end up swinging with Big Belly and then restanding the sheep, and this is not looking good for him. And then I'm swinging again, and I swing for 2 crit. He just takes it, gets no triggers again, and a turn retiring 3, but I get the Mike Saboro search first, so I'm gonna search a grade 3, which is the Rhino. So next turn I'm gonna make sure I just finish. It's gonna be the final turn, and then I end up drawing 3, which is a very nice skill. He rewrites into Zeal, and he ends up calling Die Kaiser, which is not looking too good for me, because depending on what stride he goes into, if he goes into anything with an additional crit, I'm gonna want to PG it. And Die Kaiser says if I don't PG more than once, if there's only 1 PG in Guardian Circle when I guard his Vanguard's attack, he can just counterblast 1 and basically burn me a damage, which is not fun. So right now I'm not feeling too bad. He goes into Unibird. It's gonna be a big swing. I can still PG it. I can take 1 damage. It's only 1 Die Kaiser, and there's a second. And now we're in the zone of stressing out right now, and he ends up playing that grade 3 that I hate, that gets plus 30k to whole front row. So even if I PG twice his Vanguard, I still have 2 rear guards that are plus 30k that I have to deal with. And right now he's minusing power. He minus power to my big belly by 5k. And yeah, oh, it ends up calling. Oh yeah, he thought he can do it twice, but he cannot, so he kept the over trigger in his hand. And right now it's definitely not looking good for me, because that Unibird's swinging for like 160 something, 160,000. So this is probably one of the most scariest attacks. I'm at 4 damage, and he has a lot of counter blasts. Easily I PG it, and I am hoping and praying like no tomorrow. Gets a crit, gives everything to one of his Die Kaisers, gets another crit, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. Gives everything to his Die Kaiser, and no grade 3 was revealed. So his Die Kaisers do not proc off, because grade 3 has to be revealed in your drive check. So I am ecstatic right now, but then again, I still have to guard these 2 53, or one's 53, the other one's 56, I believe, 2 crit Die Kaisers to my 7k Vanguard. So I'm kind of having a horrible time right now trying to figure it out. I end up guarding with my triggers first, so I can G guard into the Spangle, which would let me draw cards equal to the amount that I guarded with, not including her. So I believe this is enough, because this is and I end up drawing 3, and I needed those draws, so I can go ahead and guard this attack, because any one of his 3 attacks could have killed me this turn. And luckily I drew into the heal to my over trigger, so I was able to guard it and still have like a decent hand left over. So yeah, I lucked out big time. And my opponent also forgot about his crit trigger effect to go into the soul, and oh no, that's the stride, I believe it's the stride going into the soul. If it's going to the soul, I believe he forgot to do that, to go into the soul plus 10k to Vanguard and draw. I told him about it, and he's like, that's fine, it is what it is. I end up calling out the Big Belly, Crayon Tiger, Rhino, and then I end up striding into the Borlo, and he just takes the damage straight up. And that is game. Thank you for watching. Crazy match. I was in the kill zone. I was in the final turn zone multiple times, but thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want more videos like this, please let me know down below. Until I catch you next time. Peace.